doing a weird intro for no reason. I'd like to shed some light on another thing, kind of like an incorporation of my unheard of series. What's the word? I forgot the name of my own freaking series. Breaking the mold. Yeah, I don't like that name anymore because mold. So, as you know, my hair is very different right now. It's actually my favorite look because I've always wanted like red hair, like basically black hair with red streaks. This is basically my rock star look. And I have been a big fan of rock music since I was a wee little taffy, tiny little candy. But this is not about that. This is about black women in rock music. Can the two coexist? Trick question. They have been coexisting for longer than you think. Let's dive in. Rock music has been very associated with like white people and whiteness, and especially white men in rock. Like, as you know, Elvis is like the king of rock and roll and stuff, but there's been others, obviously. Rock music has derived from the blues, which has been notoriously black for decades and decades and decades. So obviously black people and rock music can coexist. I, as a wee taffy, did not think that, or at least I didn't know that, because I really kind of was a little bit ostracized, or I felt ostracized by my liking of rock music as opposed to like what black people are supposed to like. I searched far and wide for some validity in my liking of rock music, and the closest thing I found was women. Hayley Williams, her voice is magnificent. There's also Lizzie Hale from Hailstorm, Flyleaf, the Veronicas, I guess, Untouched. Banger, absolute banger. And of course, we cannot forget our one and only of Hello Kitty fame, Avril Lavigne. That was my introduction to women and rock music. The only thing I had really, and to be honest, like, I mean, what do they all have in common? Let's just list it off right here. A little Jeopardy question for y'all. That's right, they're all Canadian. JK, do you know the answer? So yeah, I did not have the representation I wanted for people in rock music, but they were women, so, you know, I took that. But as you know, there are more. There are hidden rock stars within this pantheon of female rock musicians. Let's talk about Afropunk. So Afropunk, before it was basically the Black Coachella, the documentary in 2003 of the same name brought it more into the mainstream consciousness. So it was a really good documentary, highly recommend it. And in 2005, it became an official festival. It's become one of the largest black music festivals in the country. But still, the core base of Afropunk is rock, black people in rock and roll. As that became more popular, rock and black people have kind of merged again. But some classic black rock stars, female specifically, you've got your Tina Turner, even Jill Scott, blending poetry and music, just the way that she does that so seamlessly, magnificent. But some more current female rock stars that you probably have not heard of, and if you have, good job, you get bragging rights. That's it, as I can't give you anything.
You get nothing!
Tamar Kali. So Tamar Kali, she was a part of the Afropunk documentary, so she's been around for a while, and you might know her sound from the soundtrack of Mudbound. Yes, from the soundtrack of Mudbound. And she's a very, like, I don't know, like, gritty singer, and I really like that. I really like her sound. Another black female group that I really, really love, I found them recently, Big Joni So going across the pond, it's my British accent. So Big Joni, they are 3 black female punk rock musicians, and I love their sound. It's really it blends like a lot of like the Riot Girl scene and like, you know, current music trends as well. Their cover of Cranes in the Sky, if you haven't heard it, it is chef's kiss.
And it's like cranes in the sky. Sometimes I don't wanna feel those metal clouds.
Others, there's Brittany Howard. You might know her from the Alabama Shakes and another band, I think it's called Thunder Bitch. She has more of a folky sound, so it kind of ties more into blues, but her voice is great as well. Melita Vox, she is more on the metal side of things. She's very gritty, very grungy. There's a lot of like heavy bass in her music, and I dig it a lot. Those are just a couple to name, and they all have really great sound. Or tackling a very masculine sounding genre is one huge accomplishment, but the fact that there are black women in this makes it even bigger. It's like a double win, you know? So shout outs to all of them. Go listen to their stuff. They're great. And now we're gonna bring it full circle to my girl Willow. So Willow, she's really interesting. You definitely know her with my hair fame. Yes, I did that and messed up my style, but that's okay. And she really has always been part of the alternative scene. And fun fact, actually, her mom, Jada Smith, was actually in a band. But it's not talked about for some reason. But the fact that she is using that platform that she has as pretty much royalty to pretty much popularize and normalize black women in music, in rock music, and in the alternative scene is pretty great. So in her music, it's evolved through the years. So Willow, her big studio album that came out in 2019, you can hear some of the rock influences in some of her songs, like Time Machine and Overthinking It especially. Someone in a YouTube comment somewhere said that she sounded like a mix of Rihanna and Sia, and I was like, oh my god, that is so true. But she's her own thing. She's her own rock star, and especially in her latest album, Lately I Feel Everything, which is the story of my life, she has really emerged as the pop, punk, rock superstar that we all need right now. Not only has she, emerged as a rock star, but she's blended other genres in it too, with even having Tierra Whack in one of her songs, so crossing rock and hip hop. Oh, and Avril Lavigne, who we can't forget their legendary duet together. It's like basically beating the person who inspired you to go into this genre. It's pretty cool. So shout out to Willow, and shout out to all the black girl rock stars out there. I'm joining the ranks even though I have no musical talent whatsoever, but I have cool hair. So that's enough to get me in, I guess. Love to see more people of color in rock music, and as that gets more into the mainstream with shows like We Are Lady Parts as well, we're gonna have a whole new renaissance and re-understanding of rock music in general, and that truly rocks. I had to end it with a really bad pun, so you're welcome. Yeah, that's about it, y'all. Till next time.